guys, my name is Erica and it is finally 2020. It's actually February, so I'm very behind on posting anything, which is not unusual for me. I'm very obviously inconsistent with posting. One day I'm going to be a consistent poster. Also, I forgot to say I hit 100 subscribers at the end of 2019, which is very exciting. That's not like a lot for most people. 100 subscribers for me was like a huge step, and that was like one of my goals actually for 2018, but I kind of fell off the wagon there. But this time, I finally hit it in 2019. I'm ready to get back into it for 2020 and hopefully hit more goals. And I just appreciate all of you who have been watching my channel since the beginning, or those of you who are new or haven't watched before. This means a lot to me, and you guys all mean a lot to me, and a lot of my friends are always asking when I'm posting. So I definitely want to get on a more regular schedule. I don't know why it's so hard for me to find time to film and like edit and everything, because it's like one of my favorite things to do. I guess it's just like I always have other things going on when I'm not working. I really care about everyone, and it means a lot to me that people actually want to watch my videos. So I appreciate all of you, and thank you so much for 100 subscribers. It was super exciting. I remember the moment I hit it, it was actually one of my friends from work. So that was really exciting. So now I have 100 subscribers, and I just want to keep building up from there and make this channel great for everybody, because it means a lot to me and I have so much fun doing it. I don't know why I'm so bad at being consistent. For this video, I really want to just talk about my goals for 2020 in terms of reading, and also what I've been reading currently so far and what I want to read this year. I also have a little mini book haul because I don't haul books because I'm broke. Let's just get right into it. First off, my reading goal for 2019 was, I told you guys about this, it was 100 books. I moved it down to 80, and then I moved it down to 50. I actually did end up hitting my goal. I think I read 51 books or 52 or just 50, I don't remember. But I hit my 50 books, and I was kind of excited about that because I had a really bad reading year for 2019. I didn't read as much as I wanted to, and I didn't read a lot of books that I actually liked, so that was kind of disappointing. But that's again for another video. For 2020 so far, I did set my reading goal for 80 books. We'll see if I can do that. Currently, I don't want to jinx it, but I am on schedule, on track with everything, so I want to keep that up. I did get rid of social media apps for a couple weeks, and I kind of want to keep doing that because I ended up reading a lot more than I normally have been. So my goal for 2020 is 80 books, and I hope that I can read actually more than that, or actually hit that and not have to set my goal even lower, because that's always really disappointing for me. So we'll see how that goes. But this is just like an outlook for 2020 on books that I really want to get to this year. I really want to get to The Priory of the Orange Tree this year because I've only heard amazing things about that, and I just really need a good high fantasy book in my life. I also want to read the Mistborn trilogy because those have been staring at me for so long. I want to read the Heroes of Olympus series. I actually tried reading The Lost Hero a couple years ago, and like I couldn't really get into it at the time, so I'm hoping to actually get through that entire series. They're middle grade books, and I feel like they'll be quick reads, hopefully, maybe. I've only heard good things about those ones too. I also want to reread the Grisha trilogy so I can finally read King of Scars. Sitting up here, I need to reread those very badly. I don't want to actually reread a lot of books this year because I reread so many last year. I reread the entire Throne of Glass series, I reread the Nevernight trilogy, and I reread, Six of Crows, of course, and Cricket Kingdom. I reread those. The big thing that I want to accomplish for 2020 in terms of reading is finishing Cassandra Clare's books. She has so many books that are coming out, and I have not caught up. I actually have not read Queen of Air and Darkness yet. My sister is on my case about it, and I kind of want to reread Lady Midnight and Lord of Shadows, but they're just so long, and I'm just not sure if I'm like want to commit to all that. But I really need to read Queen of Air and Darkness. I need to read The Red Scrolls of Magic. I need to read Ghost of the Shadow Market, and then finally I can get to Chain of Gold. Chain of Gold is honestly all I care about right now because like that's gonna be based kind of from like the characters of the Infernal Devices, and I desperately need to read Chain of Gold. But I also know how Cassandra Clare writes, and she interweaves every single book, and you have to read them in order, and it's just really hard to do, but I have to do it because I want to be fully immersed in that storyline and know exactly what's happening. And there's just so many books in that series and that go into that world, but I have to read it because I really want to read Chain of Gold because I know it's going to be so good and so important and beautiful. So that's my biggest like 2020 reading goal, is to finally get through Cassandra Clare's books. A series that I actually do want to reread this year is The Lunar Chronicles, and oh my gosh, you guys, Look at this beautiful new paperback of Cinder. I was debating about picking these new paperbacks up because I really wanted the hardcovers because the hardcovers were just really pretty, kind of. But when you look at these new paperbacks are just absolutely stunning. I am so obsessed, and the artwork, like, it's just so beautiful, and the rest of the books are honestly just as gorgeous. It was really hard because I went to Barnes & Noble actually today, and I saw it and I just wanted to pick up one. Like, Erica, just get one so you can like read it and then you can reward yourself with Scarlet later. But Scarlet and Crest and Winter Roll sitting there, I almost just picked up all of them, but I told myself no. So I just got Cinder, and it's so beautiful, and I can't wait to reread this series. I really hope that they remake the cover for Ferris too, but I feel like they're not going to do that. So this is actually going to segue into the next part of this video, which is a mini book haul. I obviously picked up Cinder from Barnes & Noble. So beautiful. I'm just so excited to read this. I love the Lunar Chronicles. I remember it took me so long to finally pick Cinder up. I kept seeing it and I was like, this looks stupid. I don't really need another fairy tale retelling. But it's so good. I love that it's sci-fi and fantasy kind of all mixed into one. And I'm definitely excited to reread the series, dive back into the world and the characters because they're so important to me. And it's just so beautiful and just like one of the best series ever. The rest of the books that I got, I used my gift cards on, either from like Amazon or my Barnes & Noble gift card. Actually, so my Barnes & Noble gift card, I only was able to get this beautiful new 150th anniversary edition of Little Women. It's supposed to be illustrated. There's not like a whole lot of illustrations. It's more so like just on the chapters. But it's still really pretty, and I love Little Women. This story is so close to my heart. We did the musical my sophomore year of high school. At the same time, I read the book and just fell in love with the story and the characters, especially Beth, because that was my character and I love her so much. So this is one of my other books that I hauled so far in 2020. The rest of the books I ordered off of Amazon with my Amazon gift cards because Amazon gift cards are life. And I got Black Wings Beating. I'm actually not entirely sure what this is about. I just saw it on Goodreads. It has some pretty good ratings and I just thought it looked pretty, so I picked this one up. And then I've heard amazing things about Cersei. I also don't know too much about it, which is bad. Like, I just like try to like not really know what I'm like reading because I just want to like dive into it. But I've also read really good reviews about Cersei. And then I'm very excited to read Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Along with that one, I picked up The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, of course, because I did read this one last year. But I was really excited to haul this one because I want to be able to reread it anytime I want. The last book I've hauled so far in 2020 was actually a gift from my friend Kelly. It's called How to Be a Good Creature. It's kind of like 13 animals and like a little memoir from each animal, so it's really beautiful. There are really nice, lovely illustrations for each story, and it's really cute. I think it'll be a nice, quick read. Oh, it's so cute. I'm very excited to read this. And thank you, Kelly, for being one of my greatest friends and also being one of my favorite viewers on my channel. So shout out to Kelly. She's awesome. But those are all the books I've hauled so far in 2020. The last part of this video is just going to be me telling you guys what I read so far in 2020. I haven't read that many books, and the books I have read have been really short, so I feel like it's kind of cheating. But I'm also kind of proud of myself because I've been like consistently reading a lot more than I was last year around this time. So I'm proud of myself for that. The first book I finished so far this year was Tuesdays with Maury by Mitch Albom. That one follows a man who has ALS. He was a professor. Mitch, the student, goes back to Maury after all these years of not visiting him or not talking to him, and he meets on Tuesdays, kind of like how they had class on Tuesdays, and Mitch asks Maury questions. He talks about how he lived his life, and Maury just really gives him really big life lessons, and it's really beautiful. It's really short, really sweet, also pretty sad. It made me think a lot about like when my grandma passed away, so it's kind of a hard read, but it's also just really beautifully written and inspiring. It's really good about giving you life lessons and really not taking life for granted. The next book I finished in 2020 was The Woman in the Window by AJ Finn. The movie looked amazing, like the trailer with Amy Adams, who first of all is such an incredible actress and she does not get recognized enough. The Woman in the Window follows this woman who has agoraphobia, so she doesn't like leaving her house, like she just can't. She's suffering from really bad anxiety and PTSD. Her daughter and her husband are no longer there at the house with her, so she just really lives on her own. She spends a lot of her time looking out her window, kind of like in Disturbia or The Secret Window. So this woman also is on a lot of medication and she drinks a lot of alcohol, so she kind of starts hallucinating, but she believes that she sees Jane Russell, the neighbor, get killed by the husband. But we don't know all that because we didn't see it, and a lot of people don't believe her. It's kind of like that Girl on the Train type vibe that we get they don't really believe her because she could be hallucinating. I was actually really disappointed with this book. There were a lot of really good things leading up to it, but then the climax fell really flat to me. And it's also pacing, it was really slow. Like, a lot of the same things just kept happening, and I just kind of felt like we weren't really getting anywhere in the story. There are obviously a lot of big things that happen and things that you learn that are kind of shocking, of course, because I mean it is a thriller, but it just didn't really wow me like I thought it was going to. The next book I finished was An Anonymous Girl by Greer Hendrick and Sarah Pekinen, something like that. That was another thriller. I actually like this one a lot more than The Woman in the Window. It follows this girl who really needs to make some money. She's a freelance makeup artist, which is kind of cool because I liked that it was different. While she's working on a client, her client's like, oh, I have to wake up super early and do this survey tomorrow. And she's going to make like $500 just from taking this survey. The survey is actually just kind of a part of a study that Dr. Shields is doing. So Jessica, the freelance makeup artist girl, decides she's going to kind of sneak into this survey even though she's not a college student because she wants to make some money. So she goes and she starts taking the test and answering all these really weird questions. It's really personal because it's about morality and ethics. And as she keeps going, she's like, wow, this is really weird, but she starts revealing like huge parts of her life. Dr. Shields keeps asking her to come back. They end up meeting in person, and it just gets kind of crazy from there. I was not expecting a lot that happened, but it was also, some of it was kind of predictable, but it was more fun and intriguing. Very dark and also kind of twisted, of course. I really enjoyed this book. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I was pleasantly surprised by a lot of what happened, and I definitely thought it was more fun than a lot of other thrillers that I've read. It was more original to me. It didn't feel like the same story over and over again, and it felt like there was a lot more purpose that Jessica had in her life. I thought she was a more interesting character than a lot of the leads are in these types of thrillers. The next 3 books I read were either graphic novels or poetry. I finished Paper Girls Volume 6, which is, I believe, the last one in that Paper Girls series. That series is pretty fun. It's like, I don't know, it's not as good as Saga, which is by the same author, but it was like a good, fun read, and it's very interesting to me. And then I read The Truth About Magic, which is one of the Atticus poetry books. I actually haven't read his other 2. I've like skimmed them, and I always see his posts on like Instagram, but like it's a really short, quick book of poetry, and it was really like enlightening. It's cute, but it's not like too deep. I finished The Collected Poems of Sylvia Plath, which I've literally been reading since 2017. I'm not kidding. I would like pick it up and read a couple poems and I put it down. For me, poetry is really meant to be read aloud, which is something I learned and loved passionately during my creative writing class in college. If I'm out in public, I obviously will just be reading the poetry in my head, but poetry really is meant to be read aloud. It's meant so you can hear the words and hear how they flow, and you can hear that story emerging. It's meant to be read aloud, not in your head. Kind of like Shakespeare. It's easier to understand if you're reading it out loud, so I wanted to always appreciate the author's work by taking the time and actually reading the poetry out loud to myself. So I can't always do that, so I did take a long time to read that book, but I finally like got through it, and it was so good. I love Sylvia Plath. I think she was such an incredible writer, and I just feel like poetry sometimes isn't like that anymore. Like, it's not all those details and weird, crazy things. It's more like love and like inspiration. I don't know, I just really love Sylvia Plath and a lot of the old poets because I love that they tell this weird, amazing story in just a few lines, or, you know, it's, I don't even know, I love poetry so much, and I just feel like nowadays it's not as intriguing or it's not as detailed, but it just really depends. I mean, there's a lot of really strong poets. The next book I read was Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. I saw this book last year and I like added it to my TBR and Goodreads, and I never got to it because I really wasn't in the mood to read YA last year. I just wasn't really interested, and a lot of YA just wasn't doing anything for me. So in this book, it's kind of like Vikings, I guess. I assume, yeah, Vikings, I want to say that's what it is. It reminded me a lot of the companions, like quest people in Skyrim. If anyone has played Skyrim, this is what it reminded me of, like that type of character and like that look. We have the Aska clan and the Ricky clan, and Aelin one day is in the middle of a battle against the Ricky clan, because that's just who they're always up against, and she sees her brother, who was supposedly dead all these years. She sees him again during another battle. They kidnap her because she goes in search to see where the Ricky clan are going, and she wants to talk to her brother and why he's a part of this. Then she kind of learns about the people of that Ricky clan, and she realizes they're not so different from the Aska. There's another clan that's actually a bigger threat who go after both the Ricky and the Aska, and they wipe out a ton of their people. So it inspires the Ricky and the Aska to finally join together and take out this other clan. This book, I actually was pleasantly surprised. I was very happy with the read. I wasn't like super wowed by it. I actually had a hard time putting it down. It was an easy read. I liked the culture of the characters and like the history behind them. And I liked the Viking concept. It was very intriguing to me, and I liked that it was different than any other YA book that I've read. I did feel like it was kind of repetitive at some points, and Aelin was kind of an annoying character to me during some moments. And the romance was kind of obvious. We have that enemy to lover romance, and I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it wasn't terribly written in this that I like hated it. So I did enjoy the book. I did not like it, and I actually like sped through it pretty quickly. It was a very quick read. The only thing I had an issue with was pacing. It just felt really rushed by the end. Like, I just felt like everything was happening so fast, and I just kind of wish the book could have been a little bit longer so we got more history. There's a whole lot of terms in there that I didn't really get a lot of information on or understand completely. So that kind of took me out at some parts, but honestly I thought it was really enjoyable overall, and would probably read the next one if it came out for sure. The next book I read was The End and Other Beginnings, Stories from the Future by Veronica Roth. This is a compilation of short stories, and I actually really enjoyed it. A lot of reviews were mixed on there, but I actually really liked it. The stories were all really interesting. They were different from each other. A lot of them were really beautiful, very inspiring, but also really sad. It revolves a lot around the death of family, loss of loved ones, which was kind of hard to read at some parts. But there's also 2 short stories in the back that follow the characters from Carve the Mark, and I actually was really pleased with that. However, it's been a while since I read Carve the Mark and The Fates Divide, so I kind of got confused, and I didn't really remember a lot of what happened, so I think I would reread those 2 books before I went back and reread those short stories. I like that she considered it stories from the future. I don't know, it's just really lovely, so I was happy with it. The last book I finished was Wonder by R.J. Palacio. That book, obviously, a lot of people have been talking about, a lot of people have already read it. I wanted something kind of quick and short and cute to read, and I've already seen the movie. The movie is just absolutely wonderful. Jacob Tremblay, Julia Roberts, just incredible team, like, amazing. It's such a good movie, so heartbreaking, so heartfelt, just absolutely one of the most beautiful stories. It really teaches you to appreciate people and appreciate your loved ones, and to not judge others for how they look or how they act. You never know what someone's going through and how you may affect them. The book was so beautifully written, and I definitely appreciated everyone's like perspective in the novel, and I don't know, it was just really good. Like, I can't say enough good things about it. I also meant to tell you the books I'm currently reading right now. Oh my gosh. I'm currently reading Dune. This book is massive, and my manager at work told me I should read it so he could read it at the same time. I'm only like 230 pages in. It's kind of confusing. I've actually been like reading it and then kind of spark noting it. Not because I'm dumb, but I just want to make sure I'm getting everything, and I kind of am, but it's also kind of boring and kind of slow right now. So I'm hoping it gets better because I don't want to waste my life with this when I could be reading something else, so hopefully that'll be okay. And then the next book that I haven't started yet, but going to, The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I have only heard incredible things about this. I've been hearing so much about the Queen of Nothing. No spoilers, thank goodness, but I've just been hearing that it's like super good and like super worth reading. I don't know if I'm really into fae. I'm a little nervous. Fae books are either like hit or miss with me, so I'm gonna give it a whirl and we'll see how it goes. Along with that, oh my gosh, what a mess. At the same time, I'm hoping to read Cinder, so if I'm reading 3 books at the same time, I'm hoping that works out and I don't mess everything up. That's all I have for you guys today. If you like this video, be sure to give it a nice little thumbs up. If you want to keep following me on this booktube journey, please subscribe to my channel. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ErikaAGobble. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you soon with another video. Bye!